is going on, everybody? KJ Wiggums back on Bucks County for another episode. I hope you all had a great holiday. I hope you guys enjoyed the holiday special here on Bucks County. But as you can see, we are now in early spring. Let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. We're on day one of early spring, and we have our oilseed radish, which has come in very nicely. And now it is time to start getting this field prepped and ready to go for our oats for the year. We have also added in another mod, which is going to be extremely fun to play around with. But that will come a little bit later on in this episode. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good holiday. I hope you all are doing well. Leave me a comment down below. What is one of the better things that you got for the holidays? I personally have gotten some updated stuff for my PC, which has been super awesome. Got a new headset and some other stuff that I've received, so pretty good all around. Kids had a great time. They got a lot of fun and interesting stuff, and other than that, I actually had off Christmas this year. It's the first time in about 5 years that I actually had off Christmas Day. So that was exciting, but nonetheless, we did Christmas a little bit early this year just because of the joint custody with my two oldest kids. So I had them the whole week of Christmas, and then they went back to their moms on Christmas Eve. So other than that, I mean, everything else has been good. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun getting back in and playing. I've really been playing a whole lot of squad, and kind of have not been touching Farming Simulator or even American Truck Simulator. It has been a while since I have played American Truck Simulator, and I do know that is something that I have to get back on. There was a lot of you guys that did enjoy those videos, and I do want to bring them back. I'm just not sure when or how I'm going to bring them back. I mean, I guess I know how I'm going to bring them back. I'm just going to sit back and record. But I'm not sure when they're going to get back to the channel. I know with the Cattleman Diaries Season 2 coming out, that has been extremely popular on the channel, and I know it has always been one of the favorites of all of you guys as well. That's why I did bring it back for Season 2. And in all honesty, Bucks County is doing really well also. The Struggling Farmer has taken off a lot more. We're doing some live streams with it and things along those lines, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's actually going to be a live stream the day after this video airs. So if I'm not mistaken, what is it, 25, 26, 27, 28? This video is going to come out on the 28th, and then I'm going to go live here on Bucks County on the 29th, probably around 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is kind of my goal with it. So tune in for that if you would like to join the chat and just sit around and chat while I pick up some contracts and bring in a little bit more money. With this being year 2 here on Bucks County, we are looking at bringing the horses in by the end of the year. So I do got to get that money back up. We are sitting at $60,000. I picked up some transport contracts and stuff like that over the winter. And then I've just been steadily watching the silage price plummet, and guys, I don't think we're going to get a lot of money for that, to be honest. It's going to take a lot. I think right now, or the last time I looked at it, the highest price was like $100 and dropping per thousand. So I'm not too sure what we're going to do about the silage bales. It doesn't seem like it's going to be very lucrative for us going forward. I think the horses are definitely going to start playing a part in, housing the horses here at the stables once we get them built. That's going to be where a lot of our income is from. So I don't know what to see. The plus side to that is in fairness, we could probably get rid of some of our silage stuff if it's not going to be a profitable part of the farm anymore. And we could potentially look at doing some other stuff. We're still going to need the grass fields for hay, for the horses and stuff like that. So the fields aren't going away per se, but we could get rid of a good bit of that equipment that it takes to make silage. So we could pocket some of that money and then go from there. What else? What else do we have? What other stuff is going on the farm growth-wise? With the horses coming in, I'm not sure how we're going to expand the farm. I have looked at possibly leasing. Excuse me. Possibly leasing a field. And actually, if we stop right here, the field I am looking at leasing is field 38, which is right behind our grass field that's already there. So that is a possibility. It is going to be better than having to pay for it outright, but it does need a good bit of work as well, which has me a little concerned because I don't know if, with the amount of work that it needs, if we'll be able to get everything in this year. So we'll have to wait and test that theory out and see what happens. And I'm not even sure how much they're asking for it if we do lease it, so I will have to look at that as well. Um, and I'm not even really too sure how the whole leasing piece of it works, so I have to have a play around with that. If you guys know exactly how it works, let me know in the comments down below. It is something new that I am possibly looking at getting into, as I think it fits the narrative of this Let's Play very well. The whole fact of struggling and not being able to own everything right away is probably a good bet that we would lease a number of fields just to get us through some years and then give them up, or maybe do like a lease to own or something like that. So let me go ahead. Well, actually, I probably only got like 3 more passes. Might as well keep you guys here for it. But yeah, this field's coming along nice. Took a well, we bought this probably about 3 episodes ago. Did some plowing work on it, and then came in, planted the oilseed radish. I haven't had any contracts pop up yet, with it still being pretty early in the season, so I haven't done any major cultivating contracts, and I'm kind of trying to hold off on them until the live stream. Kind of just drive around and do some of those contracts like that and talk with you guys is my plan. And then we'll be able to move on from there and hopefully start to get this field planted. Because I think what it's day... We're doing 6-day seasons still, so... For oats, we have actually all of springtime that we can plant our oats in, but the ground temp is still a little too low for that, so probably day 2, day 3 that we will be able to get our oats in the ground, which should be pretty nice. That'll actually might take up some of our live streaming depending on how long this goes, what time we get this episode done. We might be able to finish up a contract or 2 here on day 1, but I doubt it because it's already 8 o'clock and we are only just finishing up this field. We got an early start at 7, but like I said, there's still some stuff that I want to bring in. A little bit of money that we are going to spend, and we are going to see how we can try to take this to a little bit more of a realistic state, is kind of what my goal is here coming up. So that is that. Let's lift that. Oop, I was folding it. Let's fold that up. Perfect. So that is this field done and dusted. Perfect. Love when a plan comes together. I really wish we could get the oats in today, but I don't think the ground temp's going to come up high enough. I think, what was it, 43 it's got to come up to. Yeah, we're not going to get up to 43 degrees today, so we'll go ahead, we'll pull this back in the shed, and then we will move on to our next excursion? Our next excursion. Alright, so we are back down here at the shop, and we are getting ready to spend a little bit of money. So we're going to jump in here. I found it easier to just go under the tabs, the tags, the brands, whatever you want to call it, and scroll along, and I am going to buy the new John Deere Gator by Black Sheep Modding. Standard. We're going to buy it used. Model 8. I do want the beacon on there. Standard. We'll put the extra lights on there. Actually, you know what? Let's save that 200 bucks. We don't need those. It isn't going to go off the farm. Yeah, let's buy that for 10,700. Back. And then we are going to buy the 3-point lifter. We're going to buy that used for 680. And then here under miscellaneous, or MISC, whatever you want to say. Oh, it was right there anyway. We are going to get the Azari Scout. And we are going to check our fields, and we're going to see what kind of growing conditions we have. So we're going to lease this, because I don't need to own it right now. I think for 500 bucks leasing that would be just fine every little bit that we need it. Let's go ahead and back. Ooh. Let's get more in line and then back up underneath it here. And put that on. Perfect. And now hook up to the Scout. Ooh, don't knock it over. There we go. That's all hooked up. Now let us get back to the farm. We can take some soil samples, send that out to the lab, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we are coming back up to the farm, and I think our oat field is going to be the first field that I test. Now, I haven't played around with precision farming at all. This is my first go at it. Like I had said in the video last week, I did talk to TNT Modding, and he does have an updated map for precision farming. It has its own custom soil textures. This is just the default. I didn't want to go through and change everything around on the map and rebuild it again as I have already. So right now I'm just using the default soil textures, and we will just go from there. If I feel like I want to jump on trying to do rebuild all this farm again, we will possibly look at that. So as of right now, I'm not in the mood to. So let's go ahead. We'll unfold the Scout. Perfect, that's done. You bring up your mini map, and we will take our first soil sample. Kind of want to come down and around here to take up the most area possible. Oh, back up just a little bit. Alright, let's lower that down. And let's take a soil sample. go. Lift it back up. We'll move on down the field a little bit. I should be able to get this whole field done in maybe 4 or 5 pieces, I would think. I want to go down. Let's kind of back up in here. That way we're grabbing everything. Lower that down again. Yeah, I've watched a number of videos on how to use this and how effective and everything it is. I really do like the mod itself. I do like the realism that it's going to bring. And I'm just curious to see how it changes the overall gameplay for me. Let's go ahead, take a sample here. Wait, nope, there we go. We'll go up to this top corner. We'll fill all of this in. Right there. And now I hope I can get away with just one more up here. Doesn't look like I'm going to, though. It looks like I might have to take 2. Can we get that little bit in there? Maybe right there. That even takes part of our grass field as well into consideration, which is actually where we are moving to next. I will take those samples. I'll take those samples off camera. So now, actually I have to bring up the help window because I don't know how to send the tests in. Send soil samples for analysis. The soil samples are now sent to the laboratory for analysis. You will see the results on the soil type map soon. Alright, so we can turn that back off. Let's turn this off. We'll jump out. And there we go. They're already back. So let's go check out what the default game gives us for our soil types. Alright, so we got a little bit up here, which is silty clay, which is not the best growing conditions. We have a good bit of, what is that, loam, which is pretty good. And then the sandy loam, if I remember correctly, is not the worst, or the second to worst one. I'm not sure. I think it goes, the worst is silty clay, then loamy sand, then sandy loam, and then loam is the best one that you can have. So overall, doesn't look like it's too bad. Our pH is sitting at, I don't know, what does that look like? Maybe 6.25 for the pH, which would be about right with putting in the oilseed radish. Or no, pH is lime. The nitrogen would help with that. So we're in the orange, so we're at like 80 kilograms, it looks like. And nothing will come up for yield yet. So we still got to do our little grass field here on 39 and go from there. We'll have to look at the liming, what we want to do there. It looks, overall, I think looks pretty good. And then the nitrogen, which I think what I will do is I will buy in some manure, and we'll have, I don't know where I could stick a pile of manure. I mean, in fairness, we probably could put it back here in the hay shed for now. Just get a load underneath of here and possibly look at buying a manure spreader. That's a possibility too. I'll have to have a think about that. For now, let me go ahead. Let me get field 39 done, and then we'll go from there. So give me a second, and I will be right back. Alright, so we took the soil samples here off of this field, off of our grass field. Sent them in, and they are not looking pretty as far as I remember. So if we jump in here, you can see we have a lot of silty clay taking up most of the grass area, a little bit of loam, and a little bit of sandy loam. So this is all looking rough. Now I think with it being grass, we'll be okay. We're not looking at turning this into an overall uh, crop field. However, one of the things that it does have me thinking is maybe instead of putting our horse paddock over in this area where we're kind of sitting now, we could probably move it over into this backside here. Um, just because overall this is the better land down here. So I really don't want to take away that part of our field. And we could potentially put the horse paddock coming up here somewhere and come off of here and just take up some of that silty clay that's not really going to produce much of anything anyway. I think that would be our best bet, but it kind of throws off my entire plan that I've had for this whole area. So with precision farming, it's definitely back to the drawing board on what I want to do and how I want to do it. I think we got too much of a slope. Yeah, we got too much of a slope back here to place it. I think up top of the hill is going to be the best place if we're looking at just taking over the silty clay area. Decisions, decisions. Because other than that, all we have to do is really wait for the grass to come up. Or not the grass, wait for the ground temp to come up so we can put some oats in the ground down there, which I think we'll get a pretty decent yield out of that. I want to do some work, so I do want to pick up a... I do think I'm going to have some manure delivered, and maybe we will drive down and pick up a new muck spreader. It is a possibility we could do that. Let me go ahead. Let me get the scout dropped off, and we will see about taking that down, getting a load of manure up here, and then maybe going to buy a manure spreader. We'll take that down there. We can take this up with the 4010. Drop you off. We'll just go ahead and park you in here for now, I guess. Oh yeah, we can park you back here by the tires. Perfect. Alright, we'll get the 4010 fired up. We'll take it down, and then I will see you guys back down at the shop. Alright, back down here at the shop. We are returning. Not returning. Alright, looks like we're jumping in here. We are returning the scout. That is done. And then we have to pick up a manure spreader, because I had some manure delivered back to the farm. Should be there by the time we get back. So I'm going to need a manure spreader, and we're going to need a manure fork. So front loaders. What do we have? This manure fork is 1,000. This is 14, holds 940. Holds 750. 710. Let's go ahead and go with this one. We'll get it in the John Deere green. And we'll get it used. So let's buy that. And then for our manure spreader, we have a refurbished John Deere 34 that we can pick up for 4,500 bucks brand new. Get it used for 3,000. We might as well just get the brand new one. Yeah, let's let's save 1,500 bucks. Let's get it used. We'll buy that. Alright, so there's our manure fork, and there is our beat up John Deere 34 muck spreader. So let's get the 4010. We'll hook up to the fork. Can I swing in? Swing in and around. Grab the fork. There we go. We'll hook up to the muck spreader. Now this will be good too, because we'll be able to start spreading some muck on our grass fields also. That up. That up. PTO up. And there we are. Let's go ahead and get that down. Make sure no cars are coming. Let's get some of our new equipment back to the farm. Now we're still sitting at $42,000, which isn't bad. Like I said, the live stream that I plan on doing tomorrow, I am hoping that we'll get most of the plowing contracts, and we can knock a lot of those out. Get our money back up to $60,000, $70,000, which will set us up pretty nice for buying the horse paddock at the end of the year. But we do still have some money that we need to spend. We still got to buy a harvester for the oats. We still have to buy seed, whatever lime we're going to need, whatever solid and liquid fertilizer we're going to need for the fields. But we also have those silage bales that we'll be able to get rid of, and hopefully be able to pick up some more throughout this year. Maybe grab another contract or two, and possibly whatever we get off of our field before we do it. Because I'm not looking at putting the horse paddock in until probably the end of harvest season. That way we get full cuts off of the grass. We got 3 in last year. Well, we actually got 4 in because I had to rebuild everything. But we got, we would have had 3 cuts in, so we should get 3 cuts in this year as well. And then we will almost double our silages again. We should be up to almost 80 bales of silage by that point. I think 80 or 90 is what we should be at. So yep, there we go. Our manure is in up here. That is excellent. I think that'll work right there. Just drop this off. Now this mod, this the John Deere 3040 or 34, is a mod edit of mine and Beck's modding. She had helped me learn. This is actually one of the first mods that I messed around with and edited myself. I'm just trying to get a lot of John Deere equipment to keep the John Deere farm on here going. And so this is a private mod. It is not for release or anything like that. So sorry about that. But I do appreciate Beck's Modding for really helping me out and getting all of this together just so I can keep the John Deere farm going here. So far the only things that we do have is the bale wrap and the sprayer that is not John Deere on the farm, and as we go on and grow, I'm hoping to change that. I'm hoping that we can get, once we get enough fields, we'll be able to get a bigger sprayer, which they do make in John Deere. They just don't make a small one, unfortunately. And then the bale wrap, if we move over to silage, loose silage, we'll be able to just get rid of the bale wrap. But with us talking about maybe not doing silage anymore anyway, we might be able to get rid of that and not have to worry about it at all anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this entire thing filled up, and then I am going to get it on field 40 and see where that takes us. But I do think for now this is going to bring us to the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for joining. Think about hitting that like button. Please leave me a comment down below. And if you're enjoying the content and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please think about doing so. And then I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, happy farming.